topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Hello and welcome to It's Your Voice, the show that hosts enriching conversations in diversity. My name is Bahia Yaxan. I am a core alignment coach and a diversity educator, which means I help individuals and organizations align their actions with their values, and I help them discern patterns that are not useful to them, that could be harming them or others, and cultivate new patterns that are far more inclusive and create belonging and bring many, many, many more people, everyone more at ease and happier when people feel safer. I am also delighted to be your host and super delighted about my guest today, who's a strong supporter of the show, and sometimes she is your host on It's Your Voice. And I want to make a warm welcome to Kamika Edwards Avorbador. And I want to just say I'm so grateful for you. You are such a loyal, true, incredible friend to me. You're an amazing community leader. And if you can just endure, I want to read a few things about just some of your accomplishments so the audience can appreciate why I appreciate you so much. And I just really want to, this is my little way of honoring you because I respect you so much. So thank you for letting me just share with people that you're a licensed professional clinical counselor. You have your own business. And you're a daughter, a sister, a mother, a community leader, a career public educator with over 25 years of experience. You've created a curriculum for kids 3rd through 6th grade on practical applications of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa to be lived year-round. And you're also a co-advisor of many Black student unions and Black staff unions and many schools across this district and probably other districts. And you, again, a major supporter of this show. And there's more I could say, but I'm just thankful for you. And I love the title for this show. When I asked you if you would be my guest, you suggest the title Shoes of the Women We Love. So welcome, and tell us why you chose this title, if you would.
I am very happy to be here. Thank you for having me again. And I want to say Happy Women's History Month to you.
Thank you.
And that's the reason for the title of the show. Just thinking about my love of shoes and the love of the women who have molded me and shaped me and made me who I am.
Yes, perfect. Because you know, the second I asked if I can honor you, you're immediately turning around and honoring other women. That is your way, your gratitude for life and your continuous appreciation for your mentors and loved ones.
I'm very grateful, and I feel very fortunate to have had so many fabulous women in my life to brag about and share their influence, how they influence me. So I'm happy to also be an English teacher again and talk about idioms and what does it mean to fill the big shoes and, you know, stepping into people's shoes and walking a mile in people's shoes. I didn't realize there's a lot of idioms in our figurative language in English about shoes.
I didn't either. Well, do you want to start before you made a beautiful little slide deck, which we'll get to see some, some of your thought behind these idioms.
Yes.
Do you want to preface more before you start showing us the photos at your own pace?
My original idea was to ask my female influences in my life to send me pictures of their shoes, but I ran out of time as Bahia and I are both educators and we're on spring break, and you know, what is it? Big ideas, good intentions. So I just ended up using the shoes that I have in my closet. I have many shoes that I wear, shoes in my closet, shoes on the back of my door in an organizer, the ones that I wear frequently, and then a whole basket full of other shoes that I wear infrequently for special occasions. And so I just organized my thoughts around different groups of women in my life and what the lessons of love that I've learned from them. And I just took pictures of my shoes and who they reminded me of. But before we dig into my pictures, I would love to know, just how, and I'm not interviewing you, but I just have to know before I talk about all the women in my life, I just have to know who are some important women in your life who have molded and shaped you, and in whose shoes you strive to fill one day.
You're so sweet. Well, definitely my mother was super strong. I still miss her so many times I wish I could call her up. She passed quite a while ago when I was pregnant with my second child. It was huge, huge loss to the entire family. But she was like just so intelligent and perceptive and kind, and very strong civil rights advocate, a huge humanitarian. And that's how what she had in common with my father. They were just both always wanted to make life better for every human being they could possibly influence. And I just feel like I cannot reach her level of compassion. I will continue to strive. I feel like she was so much more patient than I am. And just daily dedicated. And like I have 3 sisters. And they all bring me different things to learn from. Linda, the oldest, was also a very strong advocate and activist. And I'll just never forget. She's 12 years older than I am, but I'll never forget when, like seeing the posters in her room, like when she was in college, she was an Angela Davis poster, and my mother, this is related to my sister's activism. She made our clothes, not all of them, but when she could fit them in between 50 million things and moving 100 times. She sewed my sister blouse that was really recognizable, and that's how we knew it was my sister who was on the cover of Life magazine. That big magazine that is no longer in publication, sitting on the railroad tracks protesting weapons being taken to Vietnam way back when. And so anyway, she definitely gave me some shoes to try to fit into and measure up to. And then I've had a few good other mentors along the way, but I want to turn the mic over to you because I want to hear more about your mentors. But thank you so much for the opportunity to at least brag about at least 2 of mine.
Thank you for sharing about your mom and your sister Linda. And that's my jaw dropped. I'm like, that's cool to be on the cover of Life magazine. And my grandma, I think my great grandma made clothes for my mom. So we have a lot in common because you are close with your mom. I'm close with my mom. I'm a sister. You're a sister. I'm the oldest of 2 sisters, oldest of 3 girls. And do you have any brothers?
I have 2 brothers.
You do have 2 brothers. Okay. I don't have any brothers. And then we both have a son and a daughter. And your son is your firstborn, just like my son. And then we're very close with our children. And so I was like, oh, the similarities keep going and going. And so I'm glad that we bonded almost 10 years ago. 2016, 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. And we've stayed connected ever since. And so thank you for this opportunity to honor the women who have shaped me. And I'm fortunate to know I can go back 2 generations, great-great-grandparents. And that's where I start my talk in honoring the different women in my life on this March 25th, Women's History Month or Women's Herstory Month. All of my sheroes and a picture story of lessons in love, and just shoes from my closet and who they remind me of. And I'm starting with the mamas.
I love it.
I'm starting with the mamas because I come from a long line of strong Black women. We are proudly from Mississippi. And so the far left shoes remind me of my practical mom, and just sensible, very logical, very like businessy. And my mom is like just no bull. She gets things done, has a strong business sense, got her business degree, and raised us 3 girls with just a stiff spine to use our voice and stick up for what we know to be right and true. And then the middle reminds me of my grandma. Her mom is named Mary Alice. And May Alice, if you say it fast from like the Southern way, May Alice.
May Alice.
That's right. May Alice was a church-going woman. And so modest heel. I saw her with hose. I saw her in dresses and nice church hats. And just a formidable woman who was the leader of, she wore the pants in the house, and she, raised her 5 children. My mom is the oldest, with love and discipline and good food, such good food. My grandma could cook, and we, soul food. And then the last there on the far right remind me of my big mama, which is May Alice's mom. Her name is Susanna, and we call her Big Mama. She was my big mama, my great grandmother. And I just remember her in a house coat, like this sheer blue house coat. It was flimsy and thin. And like, I don't know if I remember her shuffling her feet or if I imagine her shuffling her feet, but I remember her in house shoes and just, barking orders to everyone, and, get outdoors and play, chilling, and she was right across the paved road, not the unpaved road, because it was gravel and dirt roads back in the 80s in Mississippi. And so my grandma was here on one side, and then there was a cornfield, and then my great grandma, Big Mama, was on the other side. And I found her mom. Her mom is Mama Ola, my great grandmother. I have a picture of her grave on my my ancestor altar. I'm just so connected and so grateful to know the names and just information about my family. As you know, a lot of African Americans were robbed of their lineage and history, and I'm very much tied to my Mississippi roots. And so this slide is dedicated to my mama, Eddie Lou, my grandma, Mary Alice, and my big mama, Susanna, and then her mama, Mama Ola. And I, when my mom talks about growing up, she says she was in the house with her mama, her mama's mama, and her mama's mama's mama. And I was like, that you were raised with a lot of women, huh, Mom? And my grandma had a lot of sisters. And so a lot of aunties barking orders at my mom and just go here, do that, go ahead. She was the first grandchild. And so it made me connect the dots. I was like, oh, that's why you're so bossy. That's why you're so critical. That's why you're so, such high expectations. She got it honest
I
from the
guess.
women. So she got it honest.
I get, yeah, being the oldest.
Yes, that's
And
a
she's
real
funny.
thing.
Your mother is funny too. She's
She
quite
is
a sense of humor, doesn't she? Oh,
she is funny too.
maybe not when she was raising you.
And she's a great grandma. We call her Nana. She was a very much laid back Nana. But as a mama, she was, she ruled with an iron fist. My aunties are her sisters. I have a Aunt Jen, short for Virginia, and I have an Aunt Mary. This is Mary Louise. I don't know. Do you have any Marys in your family? I'm just thinking Mary is a common name.
We have a lot of Janes. We have Jane a lot of Janes.
Okay. We have a lot of Marys. So Aunt Jen, Aunt Virginia on the left reminds me of sensible, practical. She's always on the go. She's the caretaker. She took care of my grandma when she was sick to her death. And then my auntie on the right is the fun, free, adventure one, and was stylish. I remember being in her wedding. We wore these beautiful purple gowns, and they were like my not like big sisters, but like, I don't know, just like aunties. Yeah, like my friends, like the cool friends, the cool big sisters. But I enjoyed growing up with them. They frequently say favorite niece, oldest niece. And so I got a lot of love from them. And just, again, like from Aunt Jen, just learning how to, one of the lessons I learned from her is she's compassionate, and she gives and gives of herself. And she, we'll have to remind her to slow down in self-care. And then Aunt Mary is the one we have to be like, slow down your horses, and, it can't always be fun, right? you have to do, take care of your responsibilities, and it's not all amusement park rides, So I think I'm a good mix because I know how to have fun and I know how to settle down. So this slide is dedicated to my aunties. Are you close to any of your aunties?
Just bowing to them. They're I am.
Do you call yours aunties? Because I say her as Aunt Jen and Aunt Mary. Who are your aunties?
Well, most of them were on my father's side, and
okay.
Very we said aunt, actually.
Aunt.
And then actually we said aunt, and then we started realizing, other people saying aunt. That might make more sense the way it's spelled, AU. Maybe we were saying it like
dialectically, there's a lot of variation. So thank you for introducing me to your aunts. My sisters, I have two sisters. The one on the left is Tanisha, represents Tanisha, and the one on the right represents Angela. All of our names end in an A, like the schwa sound, the A, Kanika, Tanisha, Angela. And all of our names have the Y middle initial, Yvonne, Yvette, and Yolanda. And my middle sister is the short one of the three of us. And so people think she's the baby sister, and my baby sister is like an inch or two taller than me. And so it's weird to figure out who's the oldest by height. But Tanisha is an educator as well, and practical, sensible. And then Angela is a cashier. Everybody knows her name. She knows everybody's name, and she's like the hustler, like on the go. She has so many talents. Like, she's a poet. She fixes things. She's good with her hands. She's a good cook. She speaks fluent Spanish. And so just the Crocs just remind me of their versatility, just like Angela.
Wow. Hello, sisters.
Yeah, me too. Her birthday will be on Sunday. So happy early birthday to Angela. Okay, so sisters is my biological sisters, and then sisters is my chosen friends. And I had 4 friends that I met in the 90s. We've been friends since for over 30 years. We took a girlfriend trip to Hawaii, and I love each of them for giving me, their support over the years, helping me raise my children over the years, helping me with advice and encouragement and their wisdom and their unconditional love. So these 4 shoes represent Carrie, Tennille, Aletris, and Leslie.
Nice.
So these are my sister friends, and I lean on them heavily. And my circles have extended beyond them, and they're still my main group of girlfriends.
That's awesome. So wonderful that y'all stay in touch.
Yes, group chat and everything. So do you have a core group of support that you can call your own?
In a way, they're I kind of don't think of it because they're geographically far apart. Like,
Yes.
there's a couple in Maine, and there's a they're all over the place.
Mhm.
And it's rare. And then some of my Peace Corps buddies, and it's hard to actually be in the same spot at the same time, but you know how that goes.
Yes.
But I definitely have some like solid friends I've had for decades.
Yes. And the love is like close by and warm, and you feel it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so the last ones are, I get to model. Don't judge my toes. I'm not a big toe person, but this is me on spring break. This is me. I know how to swim. I don't know why they say a lot of Black people don't know how to swim, but I love going to the beach. I love going to lakes and rivers. And this is just representative of me, like doing, I guess, out of the box things. There's not a lot of people that I know that swim. Do you know how to swim, Bahia?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I used to teach swimming lessons to make money in college. So I had to learn.
It's a life lesson. Like, I think you should know how to swim. And so many people do not. Like, my husband does not. My mother does not. My sisters do not. So I know how to swim. I know how to ski. I've been on a surfboard. So I'm the adventure one of the group. And I like to be near water. There's something calming about water. What's your favorite body of water? And I'll share mine.
I love. I mean, I go back and forth between the lakes and oceans, but I love the ocean.
Yes. And if I wasn't so wary about the birds, just like swooping down and interrupting my peace, I would have a lot more peace. But I think my happy place is Lake Tahoe, where my husband proposed. So
That's
I love
right.
Lake Tahoe. My husband is African, and I identify as African American. And I used to say Black American. And so these shoes are a gift from our friend who's from Kenya, Patrick. And for me to walk in my heritage and connect with my African roots, when I went to West Africa last year, I was changed forever. Changed forever. And I got to meet my Ghanaian in-laws and just feel the Atlantic water and have my toes in the sand where my ancestors were, and go to the castles, the slave castles, and just being there was very cathartic and very emotional, very memorable. I can't wait to go back. The land was warm, the people were warm, the food was comforting, and I have some great experiences here in the United States. It was just so different. It just felt like coming back home. And they just celebrated their 69th year of independence from England on March 6th is their Independence Day. And so we were there for their Independence Day last year. I got to go to their version of the White House and celebrate. So just, I'm happy that I can say African American and like really identify with my African roots a little bit more, having been there, married a man from Ghana. My roots, genetics, I'm Nigerian. I'm learning how to speak his local language. I met my in-laws. They love me. I love them. And they accept me for who I am, even though I'm not born and raised in Africa. there's this acceptance and this like homecoming, just warmth that I felt when I was there. So I love being African American.
Oh my gosh. Gosh, that's so beautiful. I'm I'm so happy for you that you got to go back to the land and
The motherland, yes.
wow.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was beautiful.
Wow. I mean, you just described that so fully, but I just um would love to hear more. Is there more that you can share about how that was how transformative that must be? I can only imagine. Or maybe I
Yes.
can't. I mean, wow. There's just so many layers.
Let me finish these slides and we'll come back to the
Okay.
west coast of Africa.
Okay.
When I think about my ancestors and how hard we worked and how hard we were made to work, these are me and my fuzzy slippers. And I happened upon the Nap bishop. Her name is Trisha Hersey. And she has an Instagram following called the Nap Ministry. And in the beginning of her book, she talks about what would it be like to live in a well-rested world. My glasses.
Wow.
I have reclaimed naps. I have reclaimed my right to rest. I don't have any guilt or shame about, making sure that I get my hours of sleep. My work-life balance is more realistic and manageable and sustainable. And so her work was really instrumental in helping me to, reclaim the right to rest. And she calls it resistance because it goes against capitalism. She says, far too many of us have claimed productivity as a cornerstone of success. Brainwashed by capitalism, we subject our bodies and minds to work at an unrealistic, damaging, and machine-level pace, feeding into the same engine that enslaved millions into brutal labor for its own relentless benefit. And so I refuse.
Wow.
I refuse to burn myself out. And like my colleague, who's a Black woman, Black psychologist, said, Kamika, if you die out, they're just going to replace you. You're just another number, just another, and I like to think I have more value than that, but she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I can be replaced. And so I value my life and my contributions and to make sure that I rest. And you said this spring break, you have been sleeping in, you have been, recovering from our day jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think about this idea of resting as resistance?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I feel like I've been to, I don't know, conferences or workshops with this same theme, and it's so significant and profound.
It is.
It's just, and to but I haven't internalized it yet. I'm so glad that you have. Like, I love hearing you say you refuse to be worn down like a machine.
I refuse.
And yeah, and what your colleague says in a way is encouragement, like, don't worry about, you don't have to make yourself obsolete. Don't worry, the word will do that. So in a way, it's kind of a liberating message, like, just how about enjoy yourself and find some life work balance, and congratulations to you. Good job.
And I don't think there were role models for this. I definitely didn't, besides Trisha Hersey and her book and the Instagram following, because the generations before us, the women before us, they worked so hard, and at work and at home. And I have a little bit of guilt, like when I talk to my mom about choosing to not be an activist or choosing not to participate in certain protests, or just choosing to let another microaggression go by, without dying on that hill. There's a little bit of guilt. But there's a little bit of guilt because, I know change happens when you do speak up. Change happens when you do bring it to people's attention, the impact that they have. So, but sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I'm just, yeah. And so there's a lot that comes with that as a Black woman in America. And sometimes I would rather unplug, decompress, watch some silly movies and laugh instead of fighting the power, fighting the man, and, you know, standing up for my Black rights. It's just exhausting sometimes.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that you rest.
Me
I'm
too.
so glad. And I mean, my gosh, just think of the list I read of just a portion of the things that you do. Let me tell you, from the outside, you do and contribute so much to so many people. I see how you inspire students. I see how you, uplift me and other colleagues. You know, thank God
Thank
you
you.
rest.
Thank you. I appreciate that encouragement. And then, so that encourages me to continue walking in my purpose. You know, I'm a believer. I go to church. I like to serve the community as a community leader, public servant through different organizations, and just in my vocation as a calling, you know, to help others. And so these are my like professional shoes, and just definitely trying to, you know, be the change, you know, one student at a time, one day at a time. So that's what these shoes represent. My different hats that I wear as a counselor, as a liaison, as a member of organizations that support women and teens and youth, and the unhoused. Just there's so much need. There's so much need. So there's a lot of work to do, and so that's why I put my slippies. That's why I put my fuzzy slippers on, because I have to rest because there's so much need. So I do like to have fun. My daddy, God rest his soul, taught me how to have fun. My Aunt Mary taught me how to have fun. And so you have hiking boots all the way on the left. I have my camouflage daily trekkers to go to nature walks and trail walks on the river. I live near the American River. And my snow boots. We took our BSU kids to the snow near Tahoe earlier this year. I haven't skied in a while because of my knees, but you know, I like to have fun. I like to get together. You know, we like to get together and, you know, have game nights and talk over good food and share the ups and downs of life. And so I appreciate that, you know, we have special moments together, including my wedding, you know, celebrating my nuptials. So thank you for having fun along the way with me, Bahia.
Thank you. And at your wedding party, that's where I first met your mom and saw
Yes.
like she was hilarious.
It's my mommy.
Very wry wit.
This is I got married October 28th, 2023, and we had our party October 29th. And so my husband wore his Nikes, and I wore my flats with the kitten heel. I'm not a heel person, and I had a traditional veil. My daddy was there in spirit, and he was not able to walk me down the aisle. My son was in the Air Force on a trip at the time. He was not able to walk me down the aisle. My cousin Steve, my big cousin Steve, he's bigger than me, taller than me, but I'm older than him. So he walked me down the aisle, and him and his wife gave me some pearls of wisdom that they learned in their marriage. And this was such a special day. I value marriage. I come from marriage. All those women that I talked about, the mamas, I saw all of them married, and like long-standing marriages, and the good, the bad, and everything in between. And so I look forward to carrying on that legacy with my husband, Gabriel, who's from Ghana. Did I mention that? Gabriel from Ghana. When I was dating him, I was like, I'm dating this guy. It's Gabriel from Ghana. And he's so sweet. He speaks all 5 love languages. He is very attentive. He's my first forehead kisser. And he loves to cook. You know, I'm not the cook of the family. And I know this is Women's History Month, but you did ask about Africa, the motherland. So it's kind of related. We could,
Of
what do you want to
course.
know?
He keeps you happy. That matters. He respects
Very
you.
happy.
He loves you. I love seeing you so loved and so respected, and yeah, he's very kind and wonderful.
Thank you. He's a keeper for sure.
Totally, yeah, deserve that. Well, do you want to say more about what it was like to go back to the motherland and how it felt being so like, what is that like to step back and feel like, oh, I'm home in a place that you've
Yeah.
never been before physically?
Never been there before, ever. Yeah. And I kicked off my shoes, and the first night went to the ocean, and had met some friends there that picked us up from the airport, and had drinks by the water. Music was playing. It was the weather was perfect, and my husband is not a swimmer, and so he, you know, I wasn't dressed to go swimming, and I wasn't like ready to immerse myself in the water, but I just wanted. He was just cautioning me because I guess the undertow, he's seen a lot of people get swept away. And so he was very fearful of that. And so I was very careful to honor his wishes to not get too deep in the water. But I stepped away from the group, kicked off my shoes, closed my eyes, and just connected with the moment, you know, being fully present with the past and the present and all of the possibilities in the future, and just the sand in your toes. It's funny because when you are standing on the shore and the waves come, you sink deeper and deeper because the levels go lower, you know, it keeps washing away, and then you go lower and it washes more away and you go lower. And so just the feeling of literally deepening the connection to my roots with my bare feet was a moment that I'll never forget. And I've continued to practice grounding with my bare feet and earthing and, you know, like realigning my electromagnetic, you know, there's something in the body, something in the earth that realigns us. I don't know the mechanics behind it, but I feel re-energized. I feel centered when I do that. And so I started doing that before I went to Africa. I continued to after Africa, and I literally envisioned my feet connecting to my roots, the roots of trees, and they have their own like web under the earth web system.
Yeah, they do.
They're literally all connected. And so the work that you do to, you know, It's Your Voice, where you provide this platform for storytelling, for perspective sharing, it makes us closer. You know, it makes our community more inclusive. And so I'm really proud of you and the work that you're doing in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion, the area of anti-racism, you know, anti-bias, and modeling that for our students in the public school system. You're a gift, you know, that you're a gift to me and to others because your work in, you know, creating the space is so needed.
Thank you so much for saying that. That means a lot. That means a lot to me.
Yeah. Remember the coaching session we had? I got to benefit from your coaching, and you're really good at breaking down people's like ideas and intentions into practical steps so that our actions align with our values. And, you know, you coached me before I became a licensed business owner, and here we are. Look at this manifestation.
And you did it.
I did it. It was helpful to have you as a guide, though. So just want to put in a plug for you and your coaching consultation work.
Thank you so much.
Top notch.
When you were talking about how you like to have fun,
so much fun.
and you blend it with your community leadership. because when we had that, we had our first It's Your Voice trivia night, and I was kind of in the, you know, putting a lot of time into sort of developing like all the background, not all of it, but a lot of it. So the point where I realized I am so trained at leading like serious workshops and helping people discharge really heavy, painful, trauma, whether you're a target of racism or whether you've been perpetuating racism and you realize it and you want to stop and you believe there are ways to change, and then I do so much leadership around heavy stuff, which of course you do too. But you're able to bring in humor. You're able to laugh, and so thank God I asked you and our colleague, dear friend Kwabna Asante to host to be the host of the trivia night. And y'all were so fun. I mean, you got people cheering, you got people standing up, you got people like, in friendly competition, and just like woke people up. And I was sitting there going, thank God it's not me doing that up there reading the questions. It would be pretty boring in contrast to Kavika and Kwabna. So
Thank you. I had a good time. It was fun, and it was a weekday evening, and the atmosphere was ripe for competition and for digging into our knowledge, local knowledge about the community where we live and work. I had fun connecting to other people, meeting new people, making people laugh. And, during the break, got to talk to some of the participants in the trivia and just be myself. And it was nice to just be Kamika and get people talking. And once a cheerleader, always a cheerleader. And so 4 years, it served me well to hype up the crowd. And so I'm always ready to do that. All that was missing was the pom-poms.
Yes, that's one thing I didn't mention. You were actually a cheerleader.
Yep.
And you still are.
Yep.
And that yeah, you know how to hype up a crowd.
You can take the girl out of cheerleading, but you can't take the cheerleading out of the girl. It's very true. Very true.
That is so fun. So what else? What else can you share? We have 8 minutes left. So any other I don't know, messages for the world or encouragement or honoring of your mentors?
I don't know. I think continuing with the idea of shoes, I think you just never know what people go through. And just meeting people with compassion. I think one of the questions I remember from the trivia night is we have a compassion corner in Davis, California. And just thinking about the person who that place was named after died horrifically and was a community member that spread compassion. He didn't have a lot of power and privilege, and he used what he had to bring the community together in a compassionate way. And I'll never know what his situation was like as an unhoused man who lost his life too soon. But I think if I were to put myself in his shoes, I can imagine, I can empathize, I can sympathize, I can honor and reflect and remember. Those are all the things I can do. And then while people are still with us, like give people their flowers, like while they're alive, like tell people you love them, and tell people, give them space to talk. And then I have to tell myself to shut up and listen, take the counselor hat off, you're not working, and just listen to who people are and where they are. I think our world moves so fast, that there's so much go, and not enough pausing and reflecting and listening and connecting. So I think putting ourselves in other people's shoes to think about life from their perspective. And I think it helps me be less angry about all the inequities in the world, and helps me be more like, oh, there's probably a reason why they are the way they are that way. There's probably a reason. There's probably some experiences that they had that I may not know anything about. And so giving people the benefit of the doubt, assuming positive intent, but just don't assume that you know what people go through because what they look like or how they present, and listen, take time to listen. So I think that's and my uncle, I was missing my dad, and so I called my uncle, his brother, today actually, and he called me back and was telling me about him and my dad as children, and he made me laugh, and I wish I would have pressed record and got his permission to record, but he still has that Mississippi twang and talk real fast, and it was just a precious gift to hear my dad's brother talk about life in Mississippi, and how my dad was when he was younger. And Uncle William, if you're listening, thank you for that time on the phone. We spent about 30 minutes on the phone, and you got to say hi to my husband. And so I really do try to practice what I preach about connecting and texting and staying in touch with family and friends. So,
wow, I love that. Wow, you said so many valuable things. Empathize, sympathize, give people flowers where they're still here.
yes.
Stay in touch, listen, connect, walk in their shoes. Which if I'm imagining, gosh, what would it be like to be in his or her shoes or their shoes?
Mm-hmm.
That maybe stops me from judging and assuming. If I just stop to pause and go, what would it be like? And that's interesting that you said it helps also you not feel so angry about all the inequities in the world, by just thinking about other people
Mm-hmm.
and being present for them, and giving them grace and making space for realities they've experienced that you don't know what they are necessarily.
Yep. We all have our truth. And when I think about my mom's favorite shoes, I think about her favorite shoes are really worn. I'm like, Mom, you can afford a new pair of shoes. You're retired. You did well in your life and career. Buy some new shoes. They're her favorite shoes because they're well worn. They're molded to her feet. They are comfortable, and she's experienced a lot of different life in those shoes, in her backyard, in her own backyard, her sanctuary, her peace, her gardening shoes. I just look at them and roll my eyes. I'm like, I'm going to get you a new pair of shoes. And she's not going to wear them. I will get her another pair of shoes and she will refuse to wear them. But I think that goes to say, don't despise the well-worn. I was talking about my elderly neighbor. She's 71, in the hospital. And I think if you were to look at her, you would not know that she has so many stories and so much wisdom and so much advice and encouragement. She's like the most loving person I know. And fell in love with her immediately when we first met, when I moved here 4 years ago. And so, but I think she's someone that you can look at and overlook easily. And so just don't overlook, the well-worn, don't overlook, people who have, the lines, the wrinkles. They also have stories to tell.
Beautiful. And and again, we'll just say, well, again, first time on the show, just prayers for Luann.
Yes.
I know she had to, she could use some prayers right now and some healing.
Thank you, Luann.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm so happy. The fact that you appreciate so many people just makes your life better. You just emanate love and joy. So thank you for modeling that. You're one of my mentors. You're one of my sisters, and I love you. I'm so grateful for you. I honor you.
Love you
And
back.
thank you. And I love your picture story through shoes.
Thank you for allowing me to share about the women in my life.
You're so welcome. Thank you. And I'll thank the listeners and viewers. I want to thank Rebel, our engineer, our producer, Dean Piper, and again, you, my dear friend, Kamika. And be sure to tune in next Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Talk4TV, w4cy.com. And may we all have enriching conversations, diversity, and rest. Rest is resistance.
Don't forget to rest.